Nazis versus right-wing extremism. Ah yes, history's greatest hits, Nazis and right-wing extremists. You'd think after the 1940s, we'd all agree that fascism is a bad look, but surprise. Some people are trying to bring it back like a bad fashion trend. So let's take a fun little stroll down memory lane and compare these two totally not similar groups. The Nazis tried deporting Jewish people before deciding, hey, why stop there when we can go full genocide? Meanwhile, modern right-wing extremists are all about deporting immigrants, because obviously, the biggest problem in society is people who work hard and pay taxes. And don't forget, they're so passionate about it that they want to deport people born here. That's next-level commitment to racism. The Nazis had Hitler. Right-wing extremists have Trump. Both leaders convinced their followers they alone could fix everything, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. But hey, at least Trump has better social media engagement. The Nazis had to settle for radio propaganda, what amateurs. The Nazis needed a bad guy, so they went with Jewish people, communists, and pretty much anyone who looked at them funny. Right-wing extremists? Oh, they've modernized. Now, it's immigrants, the LGBTQ+ community, woke people, and of course, George Soros, because every conspiracy theory apparently needs a rich Jewish guy for seasoning. The Nazis killed millions, based on lies about racial purity. Right-wing extremists? Well, they haven't quite reached those numbers yet, but give them time. They sure do talk about mass executions and civil war like it's an item on their to-do list. The Nazis turned Hitler into a dictator because elections are just so annoying when people don't vote for you. Right-wing extremists have a dream: Trump is their forever king, surrounded by his dictator buddies like Putin, Xi Jinping, and Kim Jong-un. And if democracy gets in the way? No problem. There's always violence. The Nazis believed in Aryan superiority and used that as an excuse for genocide. Right-wing extremists? Same concept, new branding. Now they call it the Great Replacement theory and pretend that diversity is some kind of evil plot instead of, just how life works. The Nazis loved hanging out with other dictators. Mussolini, Franco, Hirohito, you name it, they had a club. Right-wing extremists also have a soft spot for dictators, but their crush list includes Putin, Khamenei, and Kim Jong-un. Because nothing says we love freedom like idolizing men who imprison journalists and poison their enemies. The Nazis burned books and controlled the press because free thought is dangerous when your whole ideology is built on nonsense. Right-wing extremists prefer a more modern approach, attacking journalists, banning books, and screaming fake news at anything they don't like. Progress. Hitler said Germany had to invade Poland, it was totally self-defense, guys. Right-wing extremists took notes and now claim that Putin's invasion of Ukraine is justified. Apparently, denazification means murdering civilians, but who's counting? Hitler's brown shirts tried overthrowing the German government before he finally got his dictatorship. January 6th? That was Trump's less competent version. Turns out, dressing like a buffalo and live-streaming your crimes isn't a great coup strategy. The Nazis used pseudoscience to justify their racism, promoting eugenics and racial purity. Right-wing extremists? They prefer to deny climate change, reject vaccines, and believe in secret microchips. The stupidity is different, but the anti-science energy is very much the same. The Nazis banned books, controlled education, and suppressed intellectuals because knowledge is the enemy of dictatorship. Right-wing extremists aren't burning books yet, but they are banning them at record rates. And teachers? Clearly, the biggest threat to America since, well, Hitler. The Nazis burned bright and crashed hard, leaving behind a legacy of war, death, and international condemnation. Right-wing extremists are on the same path, except now, they have TikTok. Their legacy? Failed coups, arrested cult leaders, and conspiracy theories so ridiculous even Fox News backs away. If history has taught us anything, it's that extremism never ends well. The Nazis lost. Right-wing extremists will too. But only if we make sure they don't drag the rest of us down with them.